Revenge films.
My name is Ashley, and I live with my husband Michael and our daughter. My husband has a very serious personality, and he was very thorough in his work. Anytime he had a day off, he would play with our daughter, and he was a good husband overall. Our daughter was in preschool, and she was a lot like her father. She had a lot of friends, and she was a really good girl. I was really happy with my family. However, I was having a bit of trouble with my mother-in-law who lived nearby. She would always say,
"As long as the wife is doing her job as a full-time housewife, a household with only one working parent shouldn't have to struggle financially."
She firmly believed in this, and she was always trying to give her opinion about our family's lifestyle. Struggling financially looks different for different families, but according to my mother-in-law, she seemed to believe that anything less than $120,000 to $150,000 a year was an impossible number. For example, she insisted on building a house in the middle of the city center to own, sending all of the children to private elementary schools, and going on a vacation to Europe once a year. I don't know what world she was living in. With my husband's income, we were able to go on family vacations almost every month. Because our daughter was still in preschool, she loved going to the aquarium or the zoo, and we even went to the amusement park sometimes. And yet, my mother-in-law still didn't seem to approve of our lifestyle.
Such a pathetic vacation shouldn't be called a vacation. That's just a meager trip.
And she would complain about it. But to be honest, anywhere I went with my family was always a good time. And first of all, our daughter was still in preschool. Taking her to Europe would be scary, especially considering how dangerous it can be. Last year, when we bought a car, that information made its way to my mother-in-law somehow, and she started suggesting that we purchase a luxury car. When I honestly told her that didn't meet our budget, once again she complained to me.
What are you talking about? If you, as the wife, were saving properly on a daily basis, and you were managing the family finances properly, then that should be easy for you. It's because you, who doesn't have any money of your own, are constantly spending recklessly, isn't it?
And tried to blame it on me. First of all, because we had a child, we were already keen on getting a family car, but my mother-in-law insisted that we needed to get a high-grade luxury car. Otherwise, she refused to accept it. In the end, that time, I spoke to my husband and told him that his mother was insisting on getting us that kind of a car. But then, he very quickly went to tell her not to butt in on our family car choice. And so, thanks to him, we were able to buy the car that we had originally planned to get. However, even after that, it didn't stop at just the car. Everything that involved a budget or money, she clearly seemed to think that we weren't able to afford certain things because I was wasting money and spending recklessly. Every single time my mother-in-law would say that to me, it was frustrating. But because it was my husband's income, I didn't want to say anything back to her. And that's because, especially in this generation, Michael's salary was far above the average. And yet, it was just that we couldn't reach the lifestyle that my mother-in-law was obsessed with. But I was more than happy with the life that I had now. Michael would try to speak to his mother about it from time to time, telling him that now it's a different generation from before, and that living a lavish lifestyle like that isn't possible anymore. But his mother's response would always be,
That's what you're saying. But I bet it's just because Ashley is spending all of the family money. My goodness, I can't believe she would make her husband say such excuses to cover for her.
And she refused to listen at all. And that's why every single time I was frustrated with my mother-in-law, my husband was also irritated with her. And that's why we tried to ignore anything that she said in our daily lives and went on living the way that we were. All this time, we had been slowly saving little by little from my husband's salary. And thanks to all of our savings, this year we were finally able to build our dream house. That being said, it wasn't in the middle of the city. And even though we had parking space for 2 cars, that meant we didn't have a backyard. It wasn't a fancy big mansion either. But even still, my husband and I cherished it, and we loved our dream home. Ever since we first got married, my husband and I had spoken a lot about someday owning our own house. And when it finally came time to building it, we spoke at length about every single detail of every corner, and the house was full of all of our dreams and wishes. However, when my mother-in-law found out that we were going to build our dream home, One day she showed up at our house unannounced, and as soon as she walked in, she said,
"Are you really going to buy that place? Are you sure that's what Michael wants?"
and she suddenly threw a fit at me.
How much did you prepare for the down payment? And seriously, you have to take out a loan to build a house that's small anyways? I bet you were wasting money once again. You just didn't have enough money to pay for it in one go, right? Even though you're a full-time housewife. Can't you even manage the household finances? It's truly unbelievable.
She let out a massive sigh as she said that to my face. However, I didn't want to let my mother-in-law say whatever she wanted at me, so this time I fought back. This is something that my husband and I spoke about together, and we decided together. And plus, I've said this to you over and over and over again, but I'm not spending any money recklessly at all. Now that Emily is also in preschool, I'm actually planning on getting a part-time job as well.
Working? Part-time? And what kind of income is that going to be?
It is going to be part-time and based on my shifts, but it'll probably be about $800 a month.
What do you think is going to change from such a tiny amount of money? Are you just trying to fill the hole that you've created in the finances from all of your reckless spending? Why weren't you able to save more? There must have been a reason behind it, isn't there? Look, I won't get angry, so please, just tell me the truth.
Even though I continued to tell her that that wasn't the case, no matter how many times I said it, my mother-in-law only continued to go on about me wasting my husband's income. And finally, I lost it. I went into the room and I showed her my husband's paychecks over the last couple of years, as well as all of his tax withholding slips. My mother-in-law firmly believes that any specialist working in a major company at 35 years old should easily be making way more than $100,000 a year. So when she saw the official pay slips, she was stunned. Do you think that this is a low income? Do you really not know what the average salary is in this day and age? And this is more than enough for me. I'm very happy and very thankful to Michael. I didn't want to take it this far and show you, but in this generation, this is normal. Please take a look at that and realize that you were in a different generation. Of course, I'm not spending recklessly or wasting any money.
This has to be a lie. I'm not going to believe this. I bet you made all of this yourself and faked the documents in order to hide the fact that you're wasting all of that money.
I couldn't fake these documents and make them if I wanted to. They're stamped with the official company seal.
The way you get so angry about it makes it all the more suspicious. Spit it out. What on earth are you doing spending my son's hard-earned money?
How many times do I have to say this to you for you to understand that I'm not spending recklessly or wasting the family's money? Right as we were having this conversation, my husband came home from work in perfect timing and walking in the door.
What's going on in there? I can hear your voices from outside the front door.
Oh, perfect timing, Michael. I was just in the middle of making Ashley spit out the evidence that she's wasting her money. Look closely at these pay slips that she faked and tried to show me. Obviously, there's no way that your salary is this low, right? So, the only explanation for this is that she is lying about your income, and Ashley is taking money out of it. So you need to tell her too.
When my husband heard his mom, he grabbed the pay slips that she was holding and looked straight at her.
These are my actual pay slips for my company, Mom. What, do you have some kind of complaint about how much I'm making? And what are you trying to get out of confronting Ashley about my salary?
What? But if you're as smart and skilled as you are, Michael, then there should be no reason why your salary isn't higher.
What generation are you living in? It's not like the economy is booming the way that it was back in your generation. Times have changed. Things are hard now. So to be able to earn this much is already a blessing. We should be grateful. I'm tired of you treating Ashley like she's a thief. I've had enough of it, Mom. No matter how many times I've told you not to get involved with our family lifestyle, you can't even keep that. So I'm cutting off all ties with you.
No way. Did you just say that you're going to cut off all ties with me?
Yeah. Because no matter how many times I tell you, you're always trying to butt into our lifestyle. And as the cherry on top, you treat Ashley terribly. And I feel so terrible to Ashley and her parents that I can't stand it anymore. Now hurry up and get out!
I was just doing this for your sake.
That's enough! Like I said, get out! And also, you know what? Don't ever get involved with us ever again. It only adds more stress to my life speaking to you.
My husband finally raised his voice with his mother and kicked her out of the house. After my mother-in-law left, my husband apologized to me over and over again for making me feel that way. Not at all, it's fine. More than anything, I'm really sorry for going behind your back and showing your mother your pay slips from your company. But your mom just really refused to listen to me or believe me at all, and I felt like I had no choice.
I should be the one apologizing to you.
I know how hard you're working every single day for our family, and thanks to you, we were able to build our dream home like this. So thank you. I love you. In the end, I was happy because I felt like I was able to thank my husband properly for all of his hard work. After that, it goes without saying that my mother-in-law would try to come over to our house, but she was banned from entering, from messaging me, or from calling me as well. Back in my mother-in-law's generation, the economy was booming, so perhaps people may have had better incomes, but I hope she understands now that times can change. For my husband, he was less upset about the fact that his mother found out about his actual income, and he was more upset that his mother had been harassing me all this time over the most ridiculous reason. But you know what? Regardless of the situation, I'm about to start my part-time job soon. And when I think about the fact that my mother-in-law won't be bothering us anymore, and our family can live peacefully together, I'm relieved.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.